This is Calvary Chapel's Junior High Youth Group.
He says, from a pure heart, a clear conscience. How many of you guys have ever not had a clear conscience? 2 of you? Really? Are you kidding me? Okay. Whenever, let me explain what that is. When you do something wrong and no one really knows about it, and like everyone's like happy, but you're sad because you knew you did something wrong that you deserved to be punished for. How many of you guys have experienced that? Okay, there we go. Okay. That has been me many times. Many times. One time, now the lighter was a good example, but I told it last week, so I'm going to tell a different example. One time, guys, I can't believe I'm going to confess this to you. When I was in high school, my first job was I was trimming trees. I would pick up tree trimmings and I would throw them away in this big trailer. Okay, that's what I would do. It was the worst job ever. I'll tell you stories about it if you want, but not right now. It was so bad one day. It was so bad that my boss was over in this tree, trimming this tree over here. The guy I worked with, he was 50 years old. His name was Bug. At least that's what he told me to call him. And he'd always tell me, I could have been a professional baseball player. And I was like, and you ended up here. Whatever. But he was over on the side, he was trimming trees, and it was miserably hot, and I have all these like thorny branches of the palm trees, the fan palm trees that have the thorns on the side. And I was like hating life. I looked up and I see my boss up in the tree, and I see Bug in the distance, doing his thing, whatever he's doing. And I'm like, okay, no one's looking at me. Maybe if I graciously scatter these across the ground and fall on the ground, it'll look like I fainted, and then I'll have to go home. Most people, if they had that thought, because some people would have that thought, most people would go, oh, that's crazy, I can't do that. But not me. I see him up there, I'm like, now's the time. If I'm going to do it, I got to do it now. I throw him, and I fall down on the ground. I'm laying on the concrete in Tucson, Arizona, in the middle of the summer. For those of you guys who have never done this, you got to try it. You get an egg, you crack it on the concrete, it will fry. It will fry. So my face was there, and I was like, ah! I hear it like sizzling. So before they could look, I moved over on the grass. I'm like, oh, okay, that's better. And then I lay there, And I hear, now they think I'm fainted, but I hear my boss go, Bug! Hey, Bug! And he's like, whoa! Look at Eric on the ground! And Bug's like, where? Oh my goodness! And they're like running over me. My boss is up in this tree, and he's like going down the tree, risking his life for this faker on the ground. They run over to me, guys. They picked me up. They took me in the shade. They threw water on my face. And then I come to. I'm totally faking. Okay. I'm such a little person. They're like, Eric. I'm like, oh, what? Where am I? Who are you people? Okay, I'm being completely lying. It gets worse. It gets worse. They call my mom. I'm in high school. Okay. They call my mom. My mom comes and picks me up, and she's like, my baby boy, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I think I'll be fine. And she's like, I'm going to take you to eat. Where do you want to go? And I'm like, and right then, I started feeling horrible. I felt so guilty. So she's treating me to this great food and buying me a smoothie. When I go home, she's like taking care of my every need, and I feel horrible. Why? I don't have a clear conscience. So, Paul is saying, don't be like Eric when he was in high school and he faked the fainting. Which, by the way, I confessed to my mom later, 5 years later. But I didn't confess. And she was like, when? What happened? I'm like, good. Nothing. Right. But he's saying, love with a pure heart. Jesus has cleansed you. And with a clear conscience. You guys say, you know what? I have a clear conscience. I'm going to love you. I'm not going to do anything that I would regret, okay? So, a quick example would be, you've got a friend and you're talking bad about them, and they come over and you have to fake love them. You're like, oh, right, hey, I love you. Cool, let's do this. And then they walk away like, oh. And your girls are like, I have never once done that. Guys are like, okay, right? That's what it's saying, okay? Have a clear conscience, okay? Have a clear conscience. If you've done something wrong, make it right, okay? All right, listen up. Last one he says here is he says, be filled with love that comes from a pure heart, a clear conscience, and genuine, quiet guys, genuine faith. Genuine faith. So you walk around, guys, and your faith is not fake. You don't have the faith of your parents. You have your faith. There's so many kids who walk around and go, why are you a Christian? Because. And I find out later, well, my mom's a Christian, my dad's a Christian, so I'm a Christian. Well, what does that mean to you? Guys, you don't get to heaven because your parents are Christians. Okay, the Bible, or the pastors say, God doesn't have grandchildren. Okay? You don't go, oh, well, my parents are Christian, so I'm getting it too. Remember, I want to grab my mom's, she got raptured, okay? That doesn't happen. You have to have your own faith. Your parents have their own faith. You have your own faith. Have a genuine faith. Don't be fake. Be a real Christian. I hear from non-Christians all the time, they don't want to be a Christian because there's so much hypocrisy in the church. Can anyone tell me what hypocrisy is?
Hypocrisy is when you go and say that not to do something and you go and do it yourself.
Okay, what she said was hypocrisy is saying to do something and then you don't do it yourself. That's exactly right, okay? It'd be like me saying this, Natalie, stop sinning! And then I go off and I'm sitting. I come back, don't you dare sin! And then okay? That's what hypocrisy is. And people outside church go, you tell me not to do the things you're doing. Okay, an example people always give is,